Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's I, Taylor Field, and yes, I am here. Well, if you haven't heard the news, it's because you haven't checked out my other podcasts I've done recently. But if you have and you're aware of what's going down, this is the review for Super Mario Maker 2. Yes, that is right, ladies and gentlemen. I have got the game, I've been playing it, and I have to say it's quite the experience. Now, I remember back with the Wii U, the game was announced and it was coming, and I thought, this is something to get me on board because I didn't own a Wii U right away. I wanted to, but I didn't end up getting it till I think like a year or 2 years later after it released. And when that happened, of course, when I got it, I just binged all the games. I think I finally got it just in time for Pokken Tournament. So I know I got that. I got Mario Kart. I got Smash Bros. Mario Bros. Wii U, and just all these games. I had to get them. But Mario Maker 2, or sorry, Mario Maker, the original one, it really set apart from the other titles on its own. And I realized, I don't really need to spend $80 to actually buy just the classic Mario Bros. Games anymore. If I want that, pre-made kind of experience already, it's great. But when it came around to getting a Switch and investing in the new Super Mario Brothers game, I thought, I'm just gonna hold off because I feel like they ported Super Mario Maker onto the 3DS. It's probably not too difficult for them to, add some enhancements, bring it over to the Switch, because the thing that made me get a Nintendo Switch actually was if I was guaranteed majority of the games that I have on the Wii U, because I love the Wii U and I love those games that they had on there. But, the Wii U has been discontinued, it's dead, and, I didn't, there's no point in keeping it, so, why not trade it in for a newer generation? That being said, I only felt comfortable doing that if I was guaranteed the games that I wanted, and that would be new Smash Brothers, obviously new Mario Kart, new Mario, and new Mario Maker, new Legend of Zelda, which obviously we knew we had Breath of the Wild, and then another big thing for me was Pokken Tournament. The fact that they brought that over on the Nintendo Switch blew my mind, and it just furthered my fuel to go and purchase this console. But with Mario Maker 2, it just, again, that's something that just has me so happy and content that this is a game they brought over. Luigi's Mansion 3 just is, tip of the iceberg. The only last thing that I need from you, Nintendo, is Mario Super Strikers. I need that third Strikers game on Nintendo Switch. Make it happen, and then it'll be the best console. In my opinion, I love GameCube. It's got some classics, Mario Sunshine, Smash Melee. Those are great games. OG Luigi's Mansion. Oh, Mario Kart Double Dash. Oh my God, they're so good. But you know what? If they dish out a new Strikers, Switch is going up for me. It's got all these great titles that I'm enjoying. So that being said, Mario Maker 2 has definitely, it captured my attention right away because I love the first one. I love building levels, and when it comes to designing these levels, me and Ruben have a very competitive kind of edge going on. So with the classic Mario Maker, we were always building levels to one-up each other. Every time we get together, he has one that he's done, I have one that I've done, and it was just one of the funniest things seeing each other, duking it out, trying to complete our levels. That being said, when it comes to my levels that I design, I am all about puzzles and just playing with the mind and just trying to see how I can pull you from one area to another. And I love having little mini boss battles inside these areas, and I love having secrets. I love having areas that just totally make you incline your head okay, what do I got to do? And then you have small little subtle things that kind of lead the path to where you need to go and complete these levels. I love playing and building my levels on the NES, the old school OG Mario kind of graphics format. That being said, I do enjoy the other graphics and from the other games like Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World. But that being said, I know Super Mario Bros. 3, I think, is Ruben's favorite to kind of dabble with. I do like working with the newer one, like the Wii U kind of format, but that being said, I love the classic. I feel like you can really have a lot more harder paths and more linear kind of direction, and a lot more secrets and setups that you can you can not exaggerate, but you can build off of using that graphic style as compared to the other one, the most recent one. You got your wall jumps, you got all that stuff. The fact that Mario Maker 2 does have Super Mario 3D World now included in this is actually a very cool addition. I've played a few levels with it, and it's it's a little getting used to, because I actually never played Mario 3D World or 3D Land. I can't remember the exact name, but that's when you get like that cat suit and you can climb trees and stuff. So I never actually got to play that on the Wii U, but the style that they've incorporated into this game, it's a lot of fun, and it's yeah, I'm definitely getting used to it. Yeah, this game, when you first pop it in, if you haven't had any experience with a Mario Maker game before, don't panic. You know, you're not in for like a shock and it'll be overwhelming or anything like that. You know, I know what I'm doing, so I hopped right into the map maker and was just pulling, you know, things and checking out the new interface and stuff, which is great. It's very easy to find what you're looking for. Flowing through, you know, at the top, you go to the search and you got all the wheels you can spin through and find what you're looking for. Drag it on and then you can hold it down, and then it opens up a little sub menu, so you can change a green door to a locked door or a P door, you know, a button door. Which is, it's great. It's fantastic. It's so much easier. Now, if you are new, I highly, highly recommend just jumping right into the story mode. You know, it's a very soft tutorial, as I would put it. So you'll be learning things that otherwise, you know, may not, you could take a long time trying to figure out. Now, I do believe there are things that you have to unlock. Now, I haven't played the game an extensive amount of time. I put in a fair amount of time, and I have, you know, I've played pretty much every mode. But I do believe there are some things you need to unlock, and I'm not yet able to confirm if there is the same kind of features the original Mario Maker had with the amiibo sprites, where you could change Mario's sprite to different characters, like Waluigi and stuff, because in my maps, I would always have Waluigi shrooms, and you could always just, you know, swap into Waluigi sprite. I love that. I love playing, especially, this is only in, again, the classic Mario mode, so I love this, that, just the classic look, you know, he's like rocking that like 8-bit or whatever, and it just looks great as Waluigi. But the game itself and all the modes that they've put in there, you know, it just feels fresh, it feels clean, and I feel exactly like I could pick up right where I left off in the original Mario Maker. I wish there was some way I could pull all of my old courses back into this and, you know, dive into those again, but, you know, I understand, it's a new game and all that stuff, so that's fine. The co-op editor mode is very, very interesting, and it's not that I found it also clashing at times, but it was a lot of fun. You know how you're just using 2 Joy-Cons basically per person, and you're just going around editing things. Now, personally, I don't mind, you know, using your finger on the screen and all that stuff, but I highly recommend a stylus. Now, I know that in Europe, people who got the game Mario Maker 2 received official Mario Maker 2 styluses with a soft tip. So that's basically it's like a rounded ball kind of tip, but it's very soft, like a rubber almost, you know, for iPads and that sort of thing, not your pointed one. So originally, when I was getting this game, I thought, okay, I can get away with using, you know, the stylus for my 3DS, and turns out I couldn't. And Ruben, you know, he tried his, didn't work either, so I went out and I got a pack of soft-tipped styluses, so I'm giving one to Ruben, I got one for myself, and the rest is history. So with the stylus, it works so much more, in my opinion, efficiently than using a finger. I find that, you know, and it's probably just because I'm used to using it from with the Wii U, but I just find it easier just to be dragging things around and just pop, going like that, and, you know, it's nice because if you're touching, you know, Cheetos and Doritos and you're eating, you know, fries, poutine with your hands and you're touching your Switch, at least you're not getting the screen dirty because you got your stylus. Not that I do that. I hate having greasy fingers when I game. The only situation where it's okay is if you're gaming and you're in a hardcore competition and your hands get sweaty. Then that's fine. But if you're touching Doritos and Cheetos and gravy and poutine and fries, you know, you don't want to be touching your controllers after. Keep them in clean. You know, treat them with respect. They'll last you a long time, and you won't have to fork out another $100 for another pair of Joy-Cons. Jeez Louises. So That's my 2 cents. But I do highly recommend a stylus. It just makes building so much more easier, and you have to make sure you're getting the right kind of stylus. Trying to think what else now. I love the course bot, just so familiar from the original Mario Maker. You just hop right into there and you can organize and filter it by easy levels, all levels, normal, hard, and very hard levels. And I love that. I love, all the amount of levels that are just up there already is just mind blowing. And just so much creativity goes into these levels and what you have to do. There's puzzle ones, there's speed runs, there's some that are just plain and simple fun ones, which is great. I love it. And it's just an overall great time just to see if you can do it. And when you die, I love the classic X pop-up where you can see, oh, this is where like 5,000 other people died. I'm not the only one who sucks. So, but these levels also, and in this new kind of mode, get incorporated into, I believe it was called like endless mode. And the endless mode, basically, you start off and you get 5 lives, and it's basically you trying to get through as many levels as you can, and they're all player-built levels. And I think this is just such a cool, way, instead of just kind of coasting through the course bot, trying to find, just some levels that look fun. They're all presented to you in a consecutive line, and, that's great. That's fantastic. It just feels, again, fresh. It feels like it's just, right there for you and presented, and it's a good time. And I played a little bit of it, and it's a lot of fun. Definitely couldn't be happier with that. Aside from that, there is so many new features that they've thrown into the game for like building assets, I should say, not features. So all these building assets they've thrown in is just expanding off of the first Mario Maker. And when the first Mario Maker came out, I know it was very limited, like in what you had to unlock. A lot of the stuff wasn't available on the first day, which was upsetting for me because, okay, this is stuff that should have been put out right away, very limited. There wasn't like checkpoints, there wasn't half this stuff, but then give it a few months and then they made it, okay, everything is available day one. And in this new update, and they've added, checkpoints, they've added a few new other special features, and it was fantastic. But that being said, it did, take away from the fact that, okay, I can't take what I have in my mind and properly display it on Mario Maker. And that was a little bit of a setback, but now when we're talking about Mario Maker 2, I feel like that's not the case. Like when I was hopping in making one of my puzzle maps, it just felt like, okay, this is just, great. This is fantastic. I love, that I can actually take what I'm visually seeing in my mind and display it so I can actually visually see it on my TV. It's just fantastic. And this map that I was making, I love pipes. I love where they go. You never know, and it's always a good time. But I love to set up that kind of secret and that little play on your mind and think, okay, what's going on? How do I tackle this? So I do plan on releasing the ID code for a couple of my maps on GeekVerse. So if you are listening to this and watching this cast, make sure you tune in, because on our Facebook page and social media, I will be popping some Mario Maker 2 course codes. So if you have the game, you can definitely give them a shot. And you know what? That being said, if you have course codes and you want, me to try them, send GeekVerse a message on Facebook. Let me know, and I'll be more than happy to actually, dive in, give it a shot. I love a good challenge with Mario, especially if it's the classic Mario. Oh, you're speaking my language. That's what I'm all about. But yeah, in terms of going back more to the game, the pre-order stylus I thought was pretty cool, and it looks awesome, and I love that, some people got it. But for us, if you're watching video version, you can see in my hands, we got this nice little beach ball in North America and Canada. I don't know how this relates to Mario Maker. If you do, let me know, because I'm dying to know. But I really can't say what this represents. So if you're listening right now, it is a white beach ball with a pink, blue, and an orange stripe on it. And it is, about the size of probably like maybe a volleyball. And I have no idea why it came with Mario Maker. I guess it's summertime, so... But yeah, this game, I highly recommend it if you have a Switch. You know, if you're debating between classic, Mario Bros. Or Mario Maker 2, I'd say it all comes down to personal preference. You know, if you are a person who enjoys the pre-made levels and enjoys, just popping on, playing some co-op Mario, not worrying about anything else, then that's great for you. But if you have a creative mind, even if you have kids or something like that, and you want them to be, thinking about, puzzles or a way to build something, this is a great way and a great foundation and starting point into, Mario's kind of world. In the story mode, again, it has that, like I said, a very subtle way of learning the tools and how to build things, and at the same time gives you, a fun, quick story into, what's going on in the Mushroom Kingdom. What was I gonna say? Oh man, what was I gonna say? Oh, don't you hate that when you forget something? It was right on the tip of my glasses. Yes, it comes down to personal preference. If you want to build, get this game. If you don't, and you want to just play Mario Bros. For what it is, then spend your money on the other Mario. If you're a huge fan, by all means, get both. For me, though, I couldn't justify paying well over $150 for 2 Mario games when I feel like, every level I could build in the Mario Bros. For the Switch is a level that I could technically build myself if I watched enough YouTube videos on Mario Maker. So, and then some, when you think about it. And that's just with, all the tools that they've added, these assets. There's so many more that they've attributed into the game that we just, like I said, I wanted in the first Mario Maker but never got. And this just fills that void up and just makes it feel like such a more fluid game right off the bat. Like I said, there's a few things that I think I need to unlock first. I haven't found out where this motor car comes from, but it could be as simple as dragging an item in, holding down on it, and then I can see the other options for it. I don't know yet. These are things I've just been trying to experiment and play with. But there's still so much that I am, I'm learning and I'm enjoying with this game, and I love that. It's not just, okay, day one, open it up, overwhelmed, this is all you get. There's stuff that you're constantly learning, and that being said, like, I love watching videos, too, of the maps that people build, because some of those actual levels are absolutely through the roof. The kind of in-sync synergy that's going on between the character and every kind of asset on that level. It blows my mind that people can think of such creativity. I don't normally build speedruns, but I'm really down to give it a shot in this Mario Maker 2, because just all the new assets they have for doing this kind of thing. It'll be very interesting to see. And I've also started to want to play more with, like, the levels rising for water and lava, just because I think, this is actually pretty cool. I can kind of get on board with this and, see what we can come up with. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, I wasn't expecting, like, a super long Mario Maker review, because there's not too much to go off of, but I wanted to do one for you guys just so you can be aware of the differences and the changes between this and the original Mario Maker, if it's worth it, and just how it performs. When I actually am not using my Joy-Cons or my stylus to build and I'm playing the game, I love it, because if you had a Wii U and you're then well aware of the adapter, the GameCube controller adapter, which you could plug into the Wii U. When I got rid of my Wii U for the Switch, I kept the adapter because I thought, logically I feel like I could plug this into the Switch and it should work. Thank God it does. I plugged it in and I can use GameCube controllers with any Switch game. I've even readjusted my GameCube controller to play Fortnite on the Switch, which is really weird and it doesn't work very well. It's tricky, but I don't recommend it. That being said, it's definitely an awesome experience, playing these new Mario games with the GameCube controller. It's refreshing, and it can be done, and I enjoy it. So usually I keep it plugged in, and when I'm just building and done building, just dock the Switch, grab the GameCube controller, and you're good to go. I still think the GameCube controller is one of the best controllers, on the market. In terms, all the Nintendo controllers, I was never a fan much of the Wii controller, the Wiimotes, and I was never too much a fan of the Wii U, because still then, I didn't mind the gamepad, but then secondary controllers or Wiimotes, and I was never a fan of Wiimotes. Nintendo Switch, I like the Joy-Cons a lot. They feel great, you know, they're awesome, and I like them, you know. But the classic GameCube controller, it's hard to beat. It's just iconic, it's great. It has a lot of, you know, overall just great, all-around great controller. But for Mario Maker, again, like I said, this is definitely a game that takes creativity. It's definitely a game, you know, you need to be on your feet with, and you need to, you know, if you want to think logically, the traps that you can set are so much fun. But if not, if you're looking just to have a good time and you want to have just fun and not go overthinking it, this is still a great game. There's just so much content in there, making super large Goombas to super large Koopas, you know, having Koopas and Goombas shooting out of pipes, you know, traps, everything. It's such a great time. And as long as you beat your level, just like classic Mario Maker, you can upload it for others to play. You have to beat your level, though. And that being said, you can't always just have a secret door at the entrance that you can take and get to the end and then upload it so it counts as you beating it. You have to make sure that everything in between is playable and beatable and in sync, you know? Otherwise, what's the point? You know, you don't want to cheat people out because people will leave comments on your maps, people will leave, you know, reviews rating it and stuff like that, and, you know, you want to make it fun for other people, you know? So, at the end of the day, that's pretty much it. So, until next time, make sure you check our social media. There's tons of stuff. Next week, we got Spider-Man Far From Home review coming. We're going to be reviewing that on the Wednesday. It's going to be a hell of a time. Check that out. We just had our Spider-Man Far From Home predictions cast, so make sure you go check that out. And yeah, there's lots more coming. Also, make sure you have to check out our social media. The X-Men poll is coming down to a close here soon. We got a few more rounds. It's getting tight. It's getting crazy. And be sure to make sure you check out and watch out for those Mario Maker 2 map codes. I'll be dropping sometime soon over this week. And yeah, dive right in. Let me know what you think. And if you have codes, please, by all means, send them my way on the GeekVerse Facebook or social media pages, whatever. And I look down to, I don't look down. I look forward, and I am down to play them. All right, so now that that's been said, have a good one, and we'll see you in the search bar.